Hi, this is Adam Stofsky from Briefly. Welcome to the next video in the Inland Counties Legal Services Legal Information series. I'm here with Deliesha Brown. Hey, Deliesha, how are you?
I'm good, Adam. Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm smiling because I think this is a really interesting topic to cover today. We're going to talk about an area of special education law called IEPs. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive, but I like this area because it seems to me to be an area of law where the law can really help and really make a difference for kids and in kids' lives. So I find it really interesting. So why don't we kind of get into it? And Deliesha, I'll just start with a question. What is an IEP? And maybe even start off with the basics. Is what is the IDEA? This law that IEPs come from? Can you give us just a
That,
quick overview?
yes, the IDEA is the act that is designed so that children with disabilities have the same learning experience and environment and access to as children without disabilities, right? So to ensure that they get the supports and services that they rightfully need to be successful in the learning environment. So a way to do that is to have an IEP in place, Individualized Education Program. And what that is, it's a written document that the IEP team creates, and that's individuals from the school district, special education teachers, the parent or guardian of the student, and depending on the age of the student is part of the IEP team, right? And they create this document that says, hey, this is where this student needs some support and services, and this is the type of support and services they're going to receive, and these are the goals to meet to bring them to the level where they need to be or the next level so that they can continue to progress and grow in the education environment.
So who gives the final sign off on this thing?
The whole team decides what goes into the IEP, but all parties must sign, right? The school district must agree, and the parent guardian must also agree. If either side doesn't sign, then the IEP doesn't go into place. But it should be collaborative, right? You should go in there, everyone on the IEP team should go into that meeting being collaborative, trying to find out what can work for this child, because the child should be the center of that discussion.
So what happens if there is a dispute? So I'm the parent of young children, and we have friends who have kids with disabilities, and they want the best for their kids, and they want a lot of services for their kids. And I also have friends who work at school districts, and they don't have all the resources in the world, right? So what happens if, even acting in good faith, it's hard to get folks to agree? How is that handled?
So the first, I should say, is um, financial resources is not an excuse to not provide a student with the supports and services they need and deserve. So if they need it, it's in the IEP. Whatever the cost, the district is responsible to ensuring that
You got
it's
to make it
provided to
happen.
the child. Yes. With that being said, there's a lot of recourses for IEP. You can go to due process. That's a different route. What we do here at ICLS, or what we recommend, is you're going to be in the relationship with this district unless you move out of the district until your child, or all your children rather, graduate from high school. So we recommend being as collaborative as possible, trying to resolve things at these IEP meetings. Um, ICLS, we provide representation. We will be the student's attorney, and we would appear at the IEP meeting, educating the team on what the parents' concerns are. We will review assessments to see if the current supports and services are appropriate, or if this is a new IEP, what supports and services would be proper according to the assessment. If you want assessment done and the school district says no way, we can assist with ensuring that the school does provide an assessment for any areas of need.
An assessment is just an evaluation of the child's disability, essentially.
Essentially, yes. So if you see, so here's an example. You have a child, they're in junior high, and they are getting D's and F's on their math test. But then you think about it and you're like, they've always struggled with math. Something might be going on here. You can request that the school assess the child for math to see if maybe there's some dyscalculia there, right? Maybe just like with switching the letters around, dyscalculia,
Dyslexia.
switching the numbers around, right? Or maybe they just need a little bit of support. Maybe they need some pull out services where they go and they get a math tutor, or maybe it's not that serious. Maybe they need longer time on to take the test. Maybe they need written notes.
Well, just one more question then. So you talked about inland counties, legal services helping. When you do this, is your client like the student, the child, or is it the family? Or are they really representing the student? Are you the student's lawyer, the kid's lawyer?
We are the student's lawyer, and we've had clients that were going into kindergarten and the parent wanted an
Wow.
IEP before they even put the child into school, and that the child was our client. We understand that minors cannot, or they, depending on the age, are unable to make certain legal decisions. So we do have the parent act on behalf of the student. However, we will still introduce ourselves to the student. They will get to know their attorney. Decisions are made by the guardian or parent.
Right. I still think that's a wonderful idea, though, that you're really representing, yeah, this kindergartner or pre-kindergartner. It's to me,
Yeah,
that's a very empowering and exciting thing.
absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you so much for this overview. Just can you summarize how can inland counties legal services help?
Absolutely. So if you want an IEP or you think an IEP might be appropriate and you don't have one, you can contact us and we can discuss options where the child is functioning, seeing what may be appropriate. If you already have an IEP and you don't believe that your child is getting the proper supports and services, or there's something in the IEP that they're not implementing properly, you can reach out to us and we'd be happy to assist. We also assist with 504 plans, which is like less official than an IEP. So maybe if your child has asthma and you're concerned about them being in PE, playing on the playground, we can assist with that as well. Just reach out to us. Even if you just have questions, you're not really sure if one is appropriate or not, we'd be happy to provide counsel and advice.
Great. Well, Deliesha, thanks so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you.